Hello viewers, you're watching Afghanistan Report and I'm your host Swati Kundra. The main stories are: former Afghan President backs Narendra Modi's Balochistan remarks. Struggling Afghan Air Force needs more pilots, planes. And traditional Afghani dresses, ornaments gets popular in Delhi. Former Afghan President Hamid Karzai has backed Prime Minister Narendra Modi's remarks on Balochistan in his Independence Day speech, saying he welcomes and appreciates the remarks on the right of the Baloch people to enjoy a violence-free life. Balochistan is Pakistan's largest province where human rights violations are on the rise.
Former Afghan President Hamid Karzai slammed Pakistan for supporting radicalism and engaging in gross human rights violations. He welcomes Prime Minister Modi's remarks on allowing the people of Balochistan to enjoy a violence-free life. Karzai, who participated in an event organized by the Institute of Peace and Conflict Studies in New Delhi recently, said Afghanistan is also suffering from Pakistan-backed violence, the promotion of extremism and the violations of rights.
The issue of Balochis and their rights and the need for them to have peace is something that we commiserate, we understand. The remarks of the Prime Minister of India, we wish Balochistan and its people very well. We wish all other regions in Pakistan very, very well, and we wish security and prosperity for that region and for all other regions in this part of the world. And in other words, we understand the remarks of Prime Minister Modi and appreciate it.
The former president also exhorted India to take bold steps to bolster Afghan defense capabilities, adding that Afghanistan wanted defense equipment from India.
To fight against dreaded Taliban, the Afghan Defense Forces needs modern arms and trained manpower. However, the country's nascent Air Force is struggling to field enough experienced pilots and planes. Take a look.
The Afghan Air Force is limited not only by its size. Despite having a fleet of 130 aircraft, there are not enough pilots and crews to fly them. The shortage is hampering the ability of the Afghan security forces to fight Taliban militants who are once again gaining territory in the northern and southern part of the country. Troops on the ground are crying out for more air support, which ranges from firing on the enemy to evacuating casualties from the battlefield. The day Afghan aircraft can meet the high demand is still a long way off. C-208 pilot Saifuddin Popal speaks to us as he prepares to fly another load of passengers to a base in southern Afghanistan.
ما حداقل باید 3 پرواز کنیم، حد اکثرش 4 پرواز. اما بعض بیشتر اوقات تو روزای میشه که ما تقریبا 9 پرواز الی 10 پرواز هم کردیم. از 7 صبح پرواز کردیم تا 6 دیگر ما در هوا بودیم و به خاطر 1 ساعت یا نیم ساعت به زمین پایین شدیم تا که به وظیفه دیگه آماده شدیم. پس وظیفه خود شروع کردیم و حد اکثرش 5 پرواز یا 4 پرواز تعیین کرده و نور میشه رقم. اگر زیاد شد طبعا آدم خسته میشه، بسیار خسته کن.
The roughly 130 aircraft are not enough according to Major General Abdul Wahab Wardak, commander of the Afghan Air Force. And the problem is now compounded by a lack of trained crews for existing aircraft.
ما قوای هوایی با دیسیپلین، با انضباط انکشاف شده و با تکنیک و پرسنل و قوی باید داشته باشیم. قوای هوایی دفاعی داشته باشیم. پس به این اساس این قوای هوایی که فعلا هستی دفاعی نیستن. ما باید قوای هوایی دفاعی داشته باشیم که بتانیم از سرحدات تمامیت ارضی دفاع کنیم.
At least 9 aircraft were lost last year, most to accidents or maintenance issues, officials said. So far in 2016, the Afghan Air Force has lost 2 Mi-17 helicopters, which advisors said indicated that pilots were becoming more experienced.
ما شب و روز کوشش میکنیم، زحمت میکشیم، چی در ولایت باشه چی در مرکز باشه. همیشه کوشش میکنیم که واسطه ما فعال و آماده باشه تا که به مردم افغانستان از طریق هوایی کمک ما برسه.
As the US-led coalition scaled back operations, Afghan Air Force missions doubled from 10,060 in 2014 to 22,260 in 2015. From January to May 2016, Afghan aircraft flew 6,930 missions. US Air Force combat sorties dropped from nearly 13,000 in 2014 to fewer than 6,000 in 2015, with a corresponding decrease in support and reconnaissance missions from around 60,000 in 2014 to just under 33,000 in 2015. However, the United States has provided a growing number of more advanced aircraft in the past year, seeking to make up for the withdrawal of most international forces.
Afghanistan's years-long campaign to clear millions of landmines left during the Soviet invasion and ensuing civil war is in danger of coming to a grinding halt as international aid slumps and militant violence makes the country inaccessible. We have more on this.
The mammoth task to clear landmines was meant to be completed by 2013. Though nearly 4/5 of the country is now considered landmine-free, slowing progress pushed the deadline set by the international community back to 10 years. Afghanistan remains one of the most heavily mined countries in the world. According to the United Nations, nearly 600 square kilometers of old minefields and battlefields remain to be cleared, encompassing more than 3,000 known sites and affecting 1,570 communities. One such area lies near the Salang Pass, some 50 miles north of Kabul, where earlier this month, mine clearers dressed in bulky blue Kevlar armor and protective face masks lumbered slowly across fields, waving metal detectors before them.
افغانستان میلیون‌ها مین از حساب قیام مانده بود. همش دی سبب فعال داشتن برای سوار کار کردن. زیاد ساحه خلاص شد. می‌بینید که ساحات کوهستانی مانده بازم پریوریتی اول است. چون نزدیک قریه است این ساحات مردم از ساحه استفاده می‌کنن، چراگاه استفاده می‌کنن. به حساب خوشاک جنب برای زمستان خود تیار می‌کنن، ولافا برای مواشی خود تیار می‌کنن. از این خاطر این ساحه بسیار ارزش داره.
Recently, the crew made a potentially deadly find, a 30-year-old landmine connected by a tripwire to a grenade.
اینمی مسلک که انتخاب کردیم همین بسیار خوشم میاد و چی که مردم از خطرات من بد میشه اینمی به من بسیار افتخار است.
Between April and June, at least 28 people were killed and 53 wounded by landmines and other unexploded ammunition in Afghanistan. The toll is higher as compared to the same period last year when 38 people were killed and injured. That is sharply down from the average of 507 casualties per quarter recorded in 2001, when the Taliban regime was toppled by a US-led military operation. Demining has always been a dangerous job. But increasing insurgent violence around the country has meant clearance operations are limited to fewer areas and deminers face more risks. Officials said there were recorded minefields or other hazardous areas in at least 26 of Afghanistan's 34 provinces that are now too dangerous for clear operations.
دو چالش عمده سر راه من پاکی بود، یک مسئله امنیت بود و یک مسئله پول بود. بعضی مؤسسات البته نسبت کمی بودجه فند پول نمیدادن، بالاخره همین چی شد که کمک تو وقفه نیامده بود مکمل، خب بسیار شکل نسبی صدقات پایین.
International funding earmarked for demining in 2016 is $22 million, a fraction of the $85 million United Nations officials say is needed. Donations have plunged since 2011, when donors provided $97 million for demining. At the same time, yearly funding needs have increased, partly due to more minefields being discovered and partly because of the shortfall in the past years. The United States, the largest contributor to demining programs, said it was committed to maintaining support of around $20 million per year, but that work was needed to encourage others to do the same.
Young parliamentarians from Afghanistan participated in the first two-day South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation or SAARC Young Parliamentarians Conference in Islamabad. The key theme of the conference was Peace and Harmony for Development. The young parliamentarians of the SAARC countries agreed to enhance cooperation in the fields of energy, trade and human security and for easement of visa and travel arrangements. An understanding to this effect came in a joint communique issued on the conclusion of the conference. The communique emphasized developing mechanisms for strengthening cooperation in climate change, environment, education, tourism and sports. Afghanistan, a country which has faced prolonged war, is home to rich tradition, arts and crafts. Those Afghans who have migrated to other countries have been trying to preserve their rich culture. Today we meet Muhammad Wasim, who has been selling traditional Afghani clothes and accessories in New Delhi.
These traditional dresses, handmade ornaments and accessories reflect the rich culture of Afghanistan. Muhammad Wasim, who migrated from Afghanistan to India a few years ago, runs a shop of traditional Afghan dresses and ornaments in New Delhi.
ما تقریبا در مدت 2 سال میشه که دکان باز کردیم چون که در اینجا لباس افغانی نبود، تنانات افغانی ما نبود. در هندوستان هر کی میدید یک چیز لباس افغانی از هر جای افغانی ها می آمد میدیدن که نبوده که یک چیز افغانی کار داشتن، یک لباس افغانی پیرانتنبان یا خندوزی کار داشتن، بر از اینا نبود. باز این مفکوره در فکرم آمد، امیر خواستم که دکان تیار کنم، همونطور یک چیز جور کنم، این لباس های گند افغانی بیارم، پیران گند افغانی بیارم، این چیزها رو بیارم و به مشتری ها عرضم رسانم.
A large number of Afghan refugees living in Delhi buy these dresses on the occasion of religious functions and marriages. The dresses include Gandhi Afghani for women and Pirahan Tunban for men. The Afghani ornaments are handmade and are known for its precious stones.
اینا گردنبند است، کمرای گند افغانی می پوشه. اینی لاجورد است، این لاجورد است که از سنگ لاجورد جور شده و این بسیار از سابقه است، تقریبا از سالهای بسیار قدیم است که اینا امرای گند افغانی می پوشن و سنگ قیمتی است و این دیگه که می بینین.
Wasim imported all these clothes and ornaments from Afghanistan. He hopes to expand his business in India and promote traditional Afghani dresses and jewelry.
With that, we come to the end of this week's episode of Afghanistan Report. I'm your host Swati Kundra, taking your leave. We'll be back next week with more news and views from Afghanistan. Goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.